Okay, let's talk about something that is absolutely critical in cloud development, how you handle your secrets. We're talking API keys, database credentials, all those sensitive tokens. This isn't just some minor detail. It's one of the most important security decisions you're going to make. If you get it right, you're solid. But if you get it wrong, you're leaving the door wide open. So today, we're going to find the right tool for the right job in AWS. And the stakes here, they are incredibly high. I mean, look at this number. Research shows that a whopping 82% of cloud breaches start with something like a misconfiguration or a simple architectural flaw. So what does that really mean? It means your biggest threat probably isn't some super sophisticated hacker in a dark room. No, it's a simple mistake. And one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make is messing up your secrets management. It is a fundamental line of defense you just have to get right. Just take a look at this diagram. This is a pretty standard cloud application, right? You've got your users, a CDN, load balancers, servers, storage, the whole shebang. Now, just for a second, imagine embedding a database password or an API key directly in the code for that web server. In a system with this many moving parts, a single hard-coded secret isn't just a bad idea. It's a ticking time bomb. So how do we defuse that ticking time bomb when we're working in AWS? Well, that brings us to our two main contenders, the two primary services you're going to be looking at for managing application secrets. On one side, you've got the SSM Parameter Store. You can think of this as Old Faithful. It's simple, it's reliable, and it's incredibly cost-effective. It's a real workhorse. And on the other side, you have AWS Secrets Manager. This is more like the advanced Newcomer, and it's packed with powerful features for more complex situations. The big question is, which one do you actually need? Let's start with Parameter Store. So what is it really? At its heart, it's a secure place to store key value pairs. It's designed for configuration data and for secrets. You can store things as plain text, sure, but for our purposes, the important part is that you can store them as encrypted strings using AWS KMS. That's the Key Management Service, and it handles all the heavy lifting of encryption for you. Secrets Manager, on the other hand, was built from the ground up to manage the entire lifecycle of a secret. And the key words there are rotate, manage, and retrieve. It's not just a place to park your secrets. It's a system for actively managing them from creation to deletion. All right, let's really dive into this. Starting with Parameter Store. I mean, why is it that after all these years, even with a newer, fancier service available, this is still the default choice for so many of us? This quote from Yan Kui just nails it. It really gets to the heart of the matter. It's not about being cheap. It's about being efficient. The number one argument for Parameter Store is all about avoiding waste. Why pay for a bunch of premium features you're probably not even going to use? And this slide? Well, this slide tells the whole story, doesn't it? With standard parameters, the Parameter Store costs you exactly $0 per secret. It's free. Secrets Manager, on the other hand, is 40 cents per secret every single month. Plus, you're paying for API calls. Now, I know what you're thinking, 40 cents is nothing, but what happens when you multiply that across dozens of secrets for your dev, staging, and production environments? All of a sudden, you're paying a pretty significant bill for something that could have been completely free. But, hey, it's not just about the money. Parameter Store has this beautiful simplicity to it. You need to rotate a secret. A simple Lambda function that gets triggered by an event bridge schedule, that's a pattern most AWS developers know like the back of their hand. It's also super flexible, right? It can handle your simple config values and your super sensitive encrypted secrets all in the same place. And because it's free per parameter, it actually encourages good security practices. You can separate secrets to enforce least privilege without worrying about running up a bill. And here's the kicker. From a developer's perspective, actually using either one of these in your code looks very, very similar. You add the SDK to your project, you make an API call, and you get your secret. That's it. So the effort to switch from one to the other later on is actually pretty small, which makes starting with the simpler, cheaper option a really low-risk decision. But look, this isn't a one-sided fight. Let's flip the coin here and talk about those high-value scenarios where paying the premium for Secrets Manager isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential. And we can really boil it down to a few key situations. If you're building a multi-region application, if you're dealing with really large secrets, if you need to share secrets between different AWS accounts, or if you want that native automated rotation for services like RDS, then my friend, Secrets Manager is your champion. So, this first one is a total game changer for global applications. Let's say you have users in North America and Europe. With Secrets Manager, you can automatically replicate a secret to both of those regions. You don't have to write any custom code or some complex syncing logic, it just works. And that is a massive, massive win for building resilient, highly available systems. Next up is a simple but really critical dividing line: size. Parameter Store has a hard limit of 8 kilobytes per secret. Secrets Manager gives you a much bigger runway, all the way up to 64 kilobytes. Now, for most API keys, who cares? But if you need to store something bigger, like a TLS certificate, well, Secrets Manager is your only native option. Oh, and this one is huge for bigger organizations. Secrets Manager lets you create a secret in, say, a central security account, and then use a resource-based policy to securely share it with other accounts in your org. This means you don't have to duplicate secrets all over the place. You get a single, auditable source of truth, which from a security and governance perspective is a huge advantage. Okay, we've seen the strengths of Old Faithful, and we've seen where the advanced Newcomer really shines. So how do you actually decide which one to use for your next project? Let's make this really simple. It really just comes down to this one question: when do those premium features actually justify paying that premium price? Here it is. Here's your decision tree. Step 1, and this is the most important: always start with SSM Parameter Store as your default. It's simple, it's free, and it does the job perfectly for most cases. Then, for each secret, you just ask yourself 3 questions. Number 2, do I need to replicate this across multiple regions? Number 3, do I need to share this with another AWS account? And number 4, is this thing bigger than 8 kilobytes? If you answer yes to any of those questions, then, and only then, do you reach for AWS Secrets Manager. It's really that straightforward. So when you get right down to it, the choice between these two services makes you answer a much deeper question about your own setup. It is not enough to just store your secrets somewhere. You have to manage their entire lifecycle. So when you go back to your own projects, ask yourself this: are my secrets just being stored, or are they truly being managed? The answer to that question might just change how you build.